Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salaam.
Okay, I'm really happy you answered. I have a question. Since
Okay.
you're very good at metaphors.
Yeah.
Okay, so if someone tells you about hypocrites, right? How they are, they're like you know what a hypocrite is, right?
What?
You know what a hypocrite is?
Are you serious right now? You need my advice, but I don't know what hypocrite means.
No, I'm telling you something. I need to understand something. It's a metaphor that's being used in the Quran, and I'm trying to get it.
Okay.
But I'm struggling.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
so Allah
honestly,
talks about,
yeah, because Allah's poetry is on a whole different level.
yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was thinking. If I spoke to you, you might understand it. It's just a Taddabur thing, right? Taddabur means just like your own reflections on it. So Allah talks about the munafiq, right? And he talks about, okay, he starts off, you know, that's the third page of the Quran.
وإذا لقوا الذين استنى stay on the line. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
So okay, Allah starts with وَمِنَ النَّاسِ مَن يَقُولُ آمَنَّا
بالله
بِاللَّهِ
وباليوم الآخر وما هم بمؤمنين.
Yeah. يخادعون الله
والذين آمنوا وما يخدعون إلا أنفسهم وهم يشعرون في قلوبهم مرض.
وما هم يشعرون في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله
مرض هي okay.
مرض فزادهم الله مرضا ولهم عذاب أليم بما كانوا يكذبون. So Allah is talking about those who say they believe but they actually don't. So it's telling you one type of hypocrite, right?
Yeah.
And they say في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا. So in their heart is a disease and Allah increased it.
Yeah.
Why would Allah say that?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Why would Allah يزيد فيهم?
Yeah. يزيد المرض في قلبهم.
I feel like maybe Yazid isn't like really literally add on to it. More like he just allows it to get worse because technically God can stop it from happening too. But that's a good one though.
Yeah. So actually, one of the metaphors that I heard is like when someone's like dedicated to misguidance and they don't care.
Yes.
Let's say you give them. Let's say you put them on a leash for a meter, right?
Yeah.
And within a meter, they already know like they're not really in control. He's like, but what if Allah says, I'll put them on a leash for 300 meters? Well, they think they're actually getting away with it, but they're not. And then at that 300 meter mark, which one will hurt more if they try to yank? The 300 or 1 meter? 1 meter they know, but 300 is going to hurt more, right?
Yeah, because they actually thought they were gone, or you were getting. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
في قلوبهم مرض فزادهم الله مرضا ولهم عذاب أليم بما كانوا يكذبون وإذا قيل لهم لا تفسدوا في الأرض قالوا إنما نحن مصلحون
ألا إنهم مفسدون ولكن
ولا يشعرون وإذا they'll tell another type of hypocrite, they'll tell you, what are you talking about? I'm such a good person. What are you talking about? I'm actually not doing any problems, but they're actually a mufsid. Allah telling you another type of hypocrite, right? But they don't even know. They don't even realize. وإذا قيل لهم آمنوا كما آمن الناس قالوا أنؤمن كما آمن السفهاء ألا إنهم هم السفهاء ولكن لا يعلمون. Over here he was talking about the munafiq when they in Medina, because the ones in Mecca, the Muslims in Mecca, they had to suffer a lot. They had to give up their family, everything. So when they say want to believe like them, because your iman didn't get tested, they're like, well, we're going to be losers, like we're going to give up our family and kill ourselves just for that, for what, a message? Like that's how they're looking at it, so like the munafiq, right? So they're not really like believers, because they wouldn't even sacrifice anything for the deen, right? So Allah's talking about these types of munafiq, right?
Yeah.
Right, we're just joking that we're not actually with these believers. But then Allah says, Allah يستهزئ بهم ويمدهم في طغيانهم يعمهون. Allah's actually laughing at them. Okay, the joke's on them.
Yeah.
أولئك الذين, those are the people that اشتروا الضلالة, so they purchased الضلال, like misguidance, for guidance. فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين. Their transaction, their business didn't win. So then Allah now uses a metaphor. Not the part I need your help with. Okay. He says مثلهم
كمثل الذي
استوقد نارا
فلما أضاءت ما حوله ذهب الله بنورهم وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون. Yeah.
يبصرون. So So he's using he's like, so it's مثلهم كمثل
Yo,
الذي
like God
استوقد.
always God is merciful. He's always forgiving. That doesn't mean He won't leave you hanging if that's the case being. You know what I'm saying? They say too. They say if you still feel wrong about the things that you're doing, that means Rabbi still wants you to come back to Him. He's still giving you signs. Like you still have iman inside you enough, and Allah's still reaching out. Like I go to the club, but I don't feel comfortable every time I go to the club. Every time I go to the club and I drink, I always have that feeling like haram, haram. That means Allah still you're still reaching out. But then the moment where it comes to the point where I'm drinking like I'm a white boy now, Canadian, like drinking a beer with my food, and I feel nothing, Rabbi left you now. Like it's on you now. Either you find yourself or that's it, bro. Like. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but he's saying, so look at this. He's saying, مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا. So it's like the person, he's comparing the hypocrite.
Yeah.
He's giving us a picture imagery.
Yeah.
So the hypocrite is like this person who lights up a fire in the middle of the darkness. So you went camping in the middle of the darkness.
Okay.
Nothing, and suddenly you turn on, kindle a fire. So now you can see light around you, right?
Yeah.
And Allah's saying, it's like that person who lit up a fire in the middle of darkness, and Allah took away their light and left them in a darkness that they can't see.
Yeah.
So how is that help me understand the metaphor that Allah is using to explain that that's a hypocrite. How is the person who's lighting up a fire in the middle of a darkness and Allah takes away their light?
Lighting up a fire, I mean, like, maybe lighting up a fire it's a hypocrite. So what do hypocrites do? They instigate. And they all know, one of the things hypocrites do, they instigate, they start, so it's like starting a fire. I feel maybe that's what he meant, like starting a fire, thinking that that's the way to see things, is, and then he took that fire away from them, which also plays with the fact that when you take out the fire, you can't see anymore. Plus, lighting a fire in the middle of the woods, usually you're lost.
Usually you're what?
You're lost. So, like, he's by himself in the forest. It's like a man by himself in the forest lighting a fire. So I'm thinking maybe the guy is lost, and he's starting fires. And God is going to take that fire out, so he'll just be lost in darkness now. Maybe that's what I'm looking at it as right now.
Wow. Those are really two very nice points. But how does it explain the hypocrite part?
I feel like a hypocrite starts fires, right? But then also a hypocrite would, it would start a fire. It started a fire because,
Taddabur is nothing wrong with it. Taddabur means you're just reflecting, and that's actually a really good point you made right now.
Yeah.
Hypocrites do start fires. But okay, so I'm gonna.
But also, like the main thing hypocrites, the main thing hypocrites do is basically say something and then do the exact opposite. That's the main.
Right.
That's the main general point of a hypocrite, right?
Right.
But then, what we have to look deeper into is what's the actual definition of a hypocrite? Is that's it? There's no other.
But something else. A hypocrite, what do they care about?
Themselves,
how they're
selfish.
perceived to everybody else.
Exactly, how they're perceived. Yeah, true. Because if not, then they wouldn't be doing the exact. It's like they tell everybody some way, and then they do the exact opposite on their own.
I'm thinking about, I'm thinking about a hypocrite too. Like, if we were to use the metaphor of a fire. Oh, look, I provide heat, I provide light. I'm such a. But Allah says, like, on the inside there is no light. Allah took away their light. Like He took away their, like you would think, like in the middle of the night when you give a fire, like it's some kind of benefit. But it's no benefit. It's literally darkness.
Yeah. Or even maybe it could go as deep as like, as important as the fire is, providing heat and so forth. When he takes it, when he takes your fire, maybe he doesn't literally take your fire. Fire's still burning, but he'll take your fire, so you're like, even when your fire is there, you're still lost. Or even if you think that you have, I don't know, actually, bro. I have to actually.
Wait, where are you going with this? Because that's something they actually. How did you understand that? How did you understand?
Right.
I just thought about that right now because
I just thought about that right now because it's like either. because the way you said that, like it provides heat and so forth. So I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, it is an important part of life is fire. Like that was one of the biggest discoveries. But like, it helps till this day. It gives light. It gives heat. But at the end of the day, even if you have all that, you're still lost. You know what I'm saying? You're still lost when.
Okay, I just sent you a video for 2 minutes.
Just because you have everything, it's like just because you have everything doesn't mean you're lost. Because people can have all the security in the world, but they're still lost, right? So basically, even if you have that security, you're lost though. You're in the middle of the forest. You're lost, and God took that life from you. So it's like.
Look what they said. So why would Allah?
Or also say that He could take that like whenever He wants, He can take that, and then. Just so you can really see how lost you are. Maybe they don't realize how lost they are until God removes that from them.
So watch this. So one thing Rabbi Khan was saying is though in Arabic means a light, but it also brings heat. But nur, it gives light, but it doesn't bring heat. So Allah, when He describes the sun, He talks about though, right? He uses though because the sun does give heat and light. But the qamar, He says nur. He references the qamar as nur. It has light, but it doesn't emanate heat, which is true.
That's true.
Right?
We don't get heat from the moon.
So then he's saying, look at this. So مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما أضاءت fire.
Yep.
أضاءت ما حوله, so though around him. ذهب الله بنورهم. He took the light, but the heat is like.
No. He took there means there's no nur. Say that again.
So مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا
فلما أضاءت ما حوله ذهب الله بنورهم.
Yeah.
So that means whatever nur was left. وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون صم بكم عمي فهم لا يرجعون. So that's it. Totally. The thing is to get a metaphor, you have to complete the whole. You need to keep going because it keeps going. You know what I'm saying? Metaphors, schemes, they keep going all the way through. So I know right now.
So tell me about how metaphors they keep going, because it does keep going.
It does keep going because, like, as a poet, you gotta. We'll see that God is beyond a poet, but I'm saying, like, me as a poet, I would. It's called a scheme, and also not even a scheme. With the metaphors, it keeps going. As in, like, if I bring it up in the beginning, I keep it going forward. So, for example, I say something like. Don't you know, leaving teaching y'all lessons while I left the school? No promis conmigo, pero mal parito. But shoulders like Doritos. Bring the beef to my toes. Let us wrap it up burrito. See, so right now it sounds like I'm just talking regular, but no. Did you hear what I just said? I talked about food. Here.
Yeah.
The whole scheme was food. Bring the beef to my toes, tomatoes. Lettuce. That's lettuce. Wrap it up burrito. That's literally every ingredient in a burrito, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't just stop at. Oh yeah. Huh? Part? Yeah, there is actually Dorito, but also, but bring the chips like shoulder like Doritos. I'm saying you got a chip on your shoulder. Also, see what I'm saying? I'm not literally speaking Doritos chip. That doesn't make sense. Chip on your shoulder. If you got a chip on the shoulder, I bring the beef to my toes. What does that mean? Bringing problems to my feet, to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's a whole scheme goes all the way in. So if he's talking about the whole knowledge situation, it's like in the beginning. Keep going all the way to the end, to the burrito part, to fully understand what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? The whole, so you can get the whole. صم بكم أو قصي أيوة So see, that's all connected. So you can't even really start deciphering until you know where the end of the scheme is, and then you take that as an image and try to make it a whole.
So it's literally 17, 18, 19, and 20 is a whole metaphor.
I would pretty much, yeah, exactly, because I think it could almost even go almost to the ayah right before the end of the Ruba, because I'm pretty sure that's like right before the end of the Ruba of Surah Baqarah, isn't it? I read that too many times in jail.
Yeah, it is before the Ruba.
Okay, so yeah.
But then it switches off though after after. It goes into
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
after that.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where the scheme ends, and then he talks about, okay, now listen, this is why you got to do this, because you don't want to be part of what just
Okay,
talks.
please. So, hey, Salah, please, I'm begging you. Please, can I feature you today in this one? Because I wanna introduce something, guys. Listen, I'm a writer, but my twin is a poet. Like he's a writer, like he like does raps, lyrics, and that type of stuff, right? So, anyways, I was struggling with it, and I went to him with trying to connect with it, and he brought a fresher perspective that I never thought about. But I want you to explain that, like, the how, like, when you do a metaphor, it keeps going, because now you said something that all makes sense. It makes sense because the nar, the barq, the ra'd, right? Like
Yeah.
So like those
And
things.
they're all actually,
like,
what's crazy? What's the connection between all of them?
Heat,
Exactly,
heat
light and heat. There you go.
Okay, 1 second. Surah Baqarah,
Yeah.
earth. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so 1 second.
You know what you should call this episode? Be like poets trying to decipher the Quran, deciphering meanings, or something like that.
It's just Taddabur. It's just you Tadabburing. Hang on.
Tadabburing.
It is. You're
Okay.
reflecting on
And
it.
on top of that too, مثل صليت الفجر للظهر. Bro, astaghfirullah العظيم.
Yeah, it's not good at all.
But I just woke up with the biggest pain. I couldn't even move, bro. My neck, man. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Okay, so their example is that of someone who kindles a fire, but when it lights up all around them, Allah takes away their light, leaving them in complete darkness, unable to see.
That's so plain. It's so plain. Like it's like.
I know.
For someone to understand, like someone like.
I know.
Yeah.
It's not. I know. They are willfully deaf, dumb, and blind, so they will never return to the right path.
That's exactly him explaining. Rabbi, that it's not him. He has nothing to do with their. It's not like he gave. They're just too blind. They're not going back. You know what I'm saying? So just in case people.
Hang on. Or those caught in a rainstorm from the sky with darkness, thunder, and lightning.
Yeah.
They press their fingers into their ears at the sound of every thunderclap for fear of death, and Allah encompasses the disbelievers by His might. And then it is as if the lightning were about to snatch away their sight. Whenever lightning strikes, they walk in its light, but when darkness covers them, they stand still. Had Allah willed, He could have taken away their hearing and sight. Surely Allah is most capable of everything.
Subhanallah. So basically telling you, like, oh man, that's, no one can touch God. Subhanallah, man. Like it's, wow.
So how does that, like, to the point be for you?
Yo, the scheme is amazing because it's like everything he said right there. Hold on, let me see if I can pull the Quran. Everything he said right there is basically like, how do you not break it down exactly?
Okay. I'll send you a screenshot.
Yes, and I can break it down like that. Perfect.
Okay, hang on.
SubhanAllah.
Actually, I was like, Salah would be the perfect guy for this. That's what I was thinking about.
Mhm. I mean, kind of like put me on the spot here though, because like that's one thing I'm like so scared of doing, because you have to get it right or you be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah, but Taddabur means your reflection.
That's good. So that really, that's.
It's not a tafsir. Tafsir is different.
Okay, good.
Taddabur means you're reading Allah's words and what does it mean to you.
Facts. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That does make me feel a lot more comfortable.
But you're doing your best to, because you're trying when I'm hearing you talk, you're trying your best to understand Allah's words. Like you're already coming in with the position that you know nothing and Allah knows best. So you're trying to figure out like how it makes more sense. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously Allah's trying to say something, so you're going in with that mindset, which is exactly what Allah starts Al-Baqarah with, right? With Alif Lam Mim, Dhalika al-Kitabu la Rayb. In this book, there is no doubt in it, which means we're going to come with doubts or we're going to come with shortcomings, but not this. So that means we have to check ourselves. That's why I'm here. Like I was stuck on this because I was having a hard time understanding the metaphor and how it represents a hypocrite. Like if someone wants to say this, I'm like Allah's not if someone wants to say this. If Allah's saying this is about a person who lit up their own fire, right? And then Allah took away the light, and He's using that as a reference, as a powerful metaphor for a hypocrite, for us to understand. So the idea behind the imagery is for us to really get it. But the fact that you said that poetry is like a scheme, it keeps going. on this point and how important it is that we understand it. And I'm just waiting for like that aha moment. But I was just thinking about some of the things that you said about like how like hypocrites are on fire and stuff, and the little instigators, little fitna instigators, and stuff. And I was just thinking about all these things. But anyway, I just sent you all the picture to get it.
Okay, is that in order or does it start from the bottom? Okay.
No, it starts from the beginning. See the numbers in Arabic: 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Oh, I don't even know. It just came in like it was like a. Oh, it looked like a collage when I first got it. It looked like a collage.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right, I got it. Okay, there are the ones who tried guidance. Okay, now أولئك الذين اشتروا الضلالة بالهدى فما ربحت تجارتهم وما كانوا مهتدين. Listen, they are not rightly guided. An example is that of someone who kindles a fire. Yeah. مثلهم كمثل الذي استوقد نارا فلما أضاءت ما حوله ذهب الله بنورهم وتركهم في ظلمات لا يبصرون. Okay, this is all starts connecting. لا يبصرون صم بكم عمي فهم لا يرجعون. Wow, the amazing part is all rhyming. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, and in Arabic, you know how hard that is? Like, they are willfully dumb, blind. They'll never return to the right path. So Allah is basically He's explaining to you why they're not going to return to the earth path. I mean, Allah does control everything, but you have free will. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point of that, right? So it's like, God helps you when, you know what I'm saying, if you're putting effort. You know what I'm saying? Especially like Rabbi even said, Lo Fir'aun, when he was drowning, instead of saying, Ya Musa, if he said, Ya Rabbi, Rabbi would have saved him. Right. But he was not meant to say that. Not because Allah made sure he didn't say it. No. It's because he was so blind, he wasn't going to say it regardless. The closest thing he came to saying it was asking for Musa for help. After everything Musa said, that Ya Rabbi, Rabbi did this, Rabbi's helping me do this. After everything, when he saw all that crazy power, he thought of Musa. He couldn't even accept, like, he's so blind, he couldn't even accept the fact that, no, it's Rabbi. It's okay, it must be Musa then now. Like, he almost went Christian mode right there. You know what I'm saying? All right?
Yeah.
So, I just want to make sure that, because like I know people are going to start thinking like, oh, well, if Rabbi can help, you know, can change, and why not? So in that case, Rabbi will turn everybody to Muslims and call it a day. Like, what the hell? But
logical logic.
Yeah, exactly.
Logic.
All right, and then it
so
says.
what Allah is now saying. So first he tells us the transaction they didn't even win, and he's now going to go into a metaphor, right, about methalun kamathali, and he keeps going with it.
Okay, or those trying to brainstorm. Yeah. فيه ظلمات ورعد وبرق يجعلون which is crazy because did you catch the أو قصيب من السماء فيه ظلمات ورعد وبرق?
Yeah.
Okay, ظلمات. Okay, ظلمات is darkness, right? رعد وبرق. Okay, رعد. What does it do? It takes out your.
Hang on.
Ra'd takes out your. It could literally take out your hearing. And your light, and you could turn you blind. Subhanallah.
Oh, but Allah starts with the same thing with the verse before
deaf, dumb, and blind, and then he explains exactly, and then he uses the scheme of Ra'd and so forth, which are all ways of being blind, dumb, and deaf. Okay, is amazing. That's why. So darkness, thunder, and lightning. Thunder can literally make you deaf. All right. And lightning can literally blind you, and also what blinds you, and you'll be left in darkness. All right. And then they press their fingers into their ears at the sound of every thunderclap. But no, that's not really. He doesn't literally mean thunderclap as in when they hear it, because that's probably the good thing to do. Honestly, when you hear it, if it's too loud, you should probably close your ears. No, he means like, he's obviously talking about when they hear the truth. That's why. So for every thunder, because the truth, the power of truth is as strong as Ra'd.
Wow.
You understand?
Oh, yeah.
All right, it's powerful. But no matter how powerful and how much, it doesn't matter how powerful the truth is, to the point of so loud like a Ra'd, they will still close their ears. Even when you close your ears, guess what? You're still gonna hear it. You're not going to hear it as loud, but you're still going to hear it. But they're still closing their ears. That's how, like, confident, like how consistent in their blindness.
Stop. Something just hit me when you said this. Allah's literally telling you, when you don't have guidance, you're in a state of ignorance, which means you're in a state of darkness, right?
Yep.
And if you're seeking the truth is so powerful, like even if you're supposed to hear it, you can still see, you can hear it. So what happens before the lightning? You always hear the sound before you see the lightning,
exactly.
Right?
So what does that mean? You always hear the truth before you'll see the truth. Because we are living, and we're living in a time where even when Muhammad ﷺ said, he's like, my most favorite are the ones after me. And the Sahaba asked him, why? We are here, we were willing to die for you. He's like, of course, you guys are my loved ones. But the ones after me will believe me when they never saw me.
But you know what I also thought of, Salah? The Quran is auditory. It came down to be heard.
Yes, not,
and you need
to be heard.
So you can see it.
To be heard, 100%.
It's so crazy. But Salah, but look at the metaphor he's using. Allah saying that the truth is that powerful. He's using the metaphor of the thunder and the lightning. But people, like, who are munafiq, they get scared by the truth, and they try to hide from it, and as much as they try to close their ears and everything from it to shut it out, so instead of the truth giving them peace and solace, it actually scares them, because they're munafiq.
Exactly.
It exposes you. When you're a munafiq, what are you afraid of? Being exposed, right?
Yeah.
Your hypocrisy.
Yeah.
So the truth hurts, and it scares you. So Allah is using the truth as thunder and lightning, and you're going to hear it before you see it. But what was so crazy was what you said before. I don't know if you caught what you said, and I had an aha moment when you said it. The verse 18 before it.
Yeah.
What does Allah say?
Someone
But what is the first thing? They're deaf and then blind.
Dumb. Deaf, dumb, and then blind. But also, dumb could be taken in literally a triple entendre at this point, or maybe even at least a double entendre.
He said it was dumb.
As in, like, literally.
Norman Khan said it shouldn't be dumb. It should be considered mute.
Mute.
They can't hear. They can't see.
No. But see, you can't call it mute, because then you take away from the double entendre. It needs to be dumb, because they're dumb plus they're mute, because they're deaf because of their dumbness. They're not deaf because they're actually deaf. They choose to be deaf. That's a dumb behavior. No, not akishfehema either. You're not understanding. This is going over your head right now. Dumb goes two meaning. That's a double entendre. You know what a double entendre means? That means when you say something, but it means two things. Okay? Dumb can mean literally dumb. But what's dumb? What's the meaning of dumb? What's a dumb person? When you know the truth, but you willfully say no to it. That's dumb.
I understand.
Dumb is not not someone that's mentally ill. That's not dumb. That's not the right term. That's called mentally ill. Someone's mentally ill. What's the meaning of dumb? Making dumb or unheard.
No.
Splendid. That there's the mind or dumb tongue. No. They said dumb while they're
listen, I literally looked up the definition. Dumb definition means.
I'm looking. Stupid. What's the definition of stupid? Let's break it down. Let's break it down right now. Okay. So right now, the third meaning of dumb in North America is stupid. A dumb question. It's a dumb question. Like that's a pretty dumb question. That's a stupid question. Okay. So let's see what.
Hold up a second.
Bro, I'm going with this somewhere.
Okay? Because listen, I know. Hang on.
Okay, so what does stupid mean? I'm telling you, give me a chance here. You're asking for mine. Stupid means having or showing a great lack of intelligence or common sense. So what's common sense? When you hear the truth, it's common sense. It's you know. So if you're willfully trying to not listen to common sense, that's dumb. That's a stupid behavior. That's a dumb behavior. Okay? So he's saying here, someone bookman onion. So they're not only deaf, they're deaf because of their dumb behavior, also mute, and then blind. But that's all their choice too. They're not literally that. They're choosing to be that. I actually really believe that. I might have to elaborate more on it, but I just thought of it now.
Hang on. Just hold up. I know what you're trying to say, okay? But can you give me a chance to?
Because I feel like Rabbi's getting way more.
Listen. No, hold up. Because listen.
I'm sorry. Look, they say they are willfully deaf. It doesn't say they are deaf, dumb, and blind. So they'll never. They are willfully, which makes it a dumb.
I know. It's like when someone's trying to tell you something, like blah 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 blah.
No, not even that. It's more like doing the same thing, expecting the same result. That's a dumb thing to do. All right?
No, you mean you do the same thing expecting a different result.
I mean, exactly.
Hold up. Stop for a second. I need to tell you something. Because, listen, I just sent you the definition of dumb in English, right? It says, make dumb or unheard sounds if you're not able to talk, right?
Yes.
So you have to hang on. Because I listened to Imran Khan, and he said, someone bukmun or umyun. Someone means deaf. A bukmun means you can't, like, bukush, right? Bukmun,
Yeah.
right? Or umyun, they can't see. So he's saying someone bukmun or umyun. Allah's not saying someone and wa bukmun wa umyun. He says someone bukmun or umyun. They're all these three things at the same time. They're blind, deaf, and mute at the same time.
And willfully doing it.
And he said, yeah, but he's saying, what he's saying is that Allah, like, literally blocked all the sight, all the senses that you can get guidance. So, for example, you can't call out for help.
But hold on, Allah didn't block it. They blocked it themselves. Allah's not blocking it for them. He's explaining that they're the ones. That's why it says they willfully. You understand? Now Allah willfully took care of it.
That's not even the translation I was supposed to use. I was supposed to use a different one, but I didn't have the. They are
willfully deaf, dumb, and blind, so they will never return to the right path. Why? Because they are willfully doing it. That means they already know the truth. They know, and then they're like blind.
Okay, hello. Let's go to the thing.
Okay, sorry.
Jay, they are like, this is the translation I was going to use. They are like people who labor to kindle a fire when it lights up everything around them. God takes away all their light, leaving them in utter darkness, unable to see. Deaf, dumb, and blind. They will never return. Or like people who, under a cloud burst from the sky, with its darkness, thunder, and lightning, put their fingers into their ears to keep out the thunderclaps for fear of death. God surrounds disbelievers. The lightning almost snatches away their sight. Whenever it flashes on them, they walk on, and when darkness falls around them, they stand still. If God so willed, He would take away their hearing and sight. If Allah willed it, He would have taken away their hearing and sight. God has the power over everything.
Yes. Basically saying they are willfully doing that, and Allah can literally just take it from them. But Allah is just stating that, like, I can literally take it from them. If they want to be metaphorically deaf, blind, and dumb, well, I might as well just, Allah is saying that I could, not might as well, but I could, as a might as well thing, take their hearing and literally do it and see where they go from there. Maybe maybe they'll see the truth then. Maybe they'll start asking for Allah's help more. Because usually people ask for Allah's help when they need it. When really people don't realize that you need Allah, period, every time, every day. Even when you're a millionaire and you got everything, you don't know, you still need it. Because do you still want that millions? Okay, then you better keep praying. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So no matter what, you always, but usually people are like, oh, when they're in the most desperate times is when you call for God. Like you'll see an atheist, screw, I don't believe in God. The moment he's stuck in a freaking volcano and he's about to drop, I promise you he's going to start saying God. I promise you he's going to start saying God. All of a sudden, I don't know. Those are crazy. I don't know. The guy was a mountaineer, bro. He likes he likes volcanoes.
Okay, hang on. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Okay.
All right.
So because we're using the Hamid translation, just to read it right now, because I like his, and I usually use different translations. So when I look at the one I just sent you, I highlighted it because I had it on my Kindle. I bought it. Okay, and then I did the next section in orange because Allah talks about this metaphor, the poem, right? He says it's like a metaphor that keeps going, and then Allah goes immediately into this right after. So what do you take from that? So read it out loud. They are like people who
labor to kindle a fire. When it lights up everything around them, God takes away all their light, leaving them in utter darkness, unable to see. Deaf, dumb, blind. They will never return. This is like a scheme of their behavior, I feel. A scheme using darkness, deaf, dumb, and blind. Okay. People who under a cloud burst from the sky with its darkness, thunder, and lightning put their fingers in their ears to keep out thunderclaps for fear of death. Well, that could be taken in so many ways too, though, because like people fear that like nowadays too, that like just even looking at Islam, you could be dead. You know what I'm saying? Or you're in danger.
No, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? No, that's true. So because the
first
one, because the top are willfully, and the other one are more like scared of death. You know what I'm saying? Or remember, it's like they are like people who kindle a fire when it lights up everything around them. God takes away all their light, leaving them in utter darkness, unable to see, deaf, dumb, and blind. which is their behavior. Okay, they will never return because that's them willfully doing it. That's why they'll never return. See me, that's like saying, uh, I want to quit. I think this is a good example. I'm like, I want to quit. The fact that I know something is bad means automatically that I have a chance of stopping it because I realize that it's wrong. These guys realize it's right but don't care. So that's why there's no way back. Like me right now, if I knew something's wrong but I don't care, there's no way of me stopping. There's no way of me ever stopping. But if I do care, I will eventually stop. I think there's a better way of saying that. I'm going to figure it out. But anyways, then right after that it says, or like people who under a cloud bursts from the sky with its darkness, thunder, and lightning, put their fingers in their ears to keep out. Okay, so the darkness, so it's going to be a bad time. Thunder, the truth is still spewing. Lightning, that means God's light is still available. But they still put their fingers in the ears to keep out of the thunderclaps for fear of death. Which, yeah, I mean, we see in Myanmar and all that. God surrounds the disbelievers. The lightning almost snatches away their sight. Whenever it flashes on them, they walk on, and when darkness falls around them, they stand still. Oh, haha. So these are the ones that, like, when they see those little miracles, you know what I'm saying? Like those little, like, you know, we don't want to say like miracles. It's like those signs. Like Rabbi shows you a sign that he's there. So as soon as he shows you that sign, that's like lightning coming down. That light comes, so they'll walk through. But as soon as that is gone, they stop. So it's like, and I see Rabbi got me a good job. Okay, great. So I'm walking towards it. But as soon as that's where it stops, that's it. Like, I got a good job, but now work isn't that, I don't like them. And that's it. Now I'm chilling. Now I'm waiting for the next sign before I start, looking at God again. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking maybe that's what he's saying. If God so willed, he could take away their hearing and sight. God has power over everything. At this point, he's like, okay. He's like, at this point, I could just take everything and then they get nothing. But instead, I give them something, so they follow, and then as soon as I just gave them one thing, they'll stop. Until I give them the next thing, they're now looking back at me again. So it's like usually like people who, they pray for something, Rabbi gets them something, and then that's it. They stop. They don't, until the next time God comes through and gives them something else. But man, I really don't. Well, he could.
How about this?
God has power over everything. People worship the Lord. Yeah.
A blind person, if they can't see, they're walking in darkness. And so unless someone, like, there's a little bit of guidance from somewhere or a little bit of something that lights up your path, and you're like, okay, maybe this is the way. And that's it. It's gone. Then it's like, oh, this. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah, but to me, though, they have no excuse. Because at the end of the day, if you're blind, all your senses get higher, intense, right? So if your hearing is better. So if anything, the more you're blind, the more you know than hear the truth. So it's like, that's why it's willful. It's they're willfully blind. People worship your Lord who created you and those before you, so that you may be mindful. So there you go. So he's like, he created people before you, so you have that history to learn from the mistakes of other people.
Where are you reading from?
I'm reading at the end. I think it's the last one, number 21. I'm at 22 actually.
Okay.
Who spread out the earth for you?
So now, hold up. You skipped it. So Allah now goes into an imagery metaphor, right? Kind of like rhyming, poetry, imagery, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now it ends as Allah God has power over everything. And then immediately Allah goes into people worship your Lord who created you.
Because he just explained. God has power over everything. He explained that. He's done. He's done with the whole metaphor and schemes of the whole thunder, lightning, dumb, blind, so forth. And now it's like, as soon as he made that point, now let's begin. So now people worship your Lord. I just made it clear. So now I explained to you this. So now people worship your Lord who created you and those before you. Why? So that you may be mindful of him. Who's him? God. Oh, but why would he say him? I thought God expresses himself as our.
Yes. When he's saying we.
Yeah.
Like, when he's coming to use, like, we will,
Oh, okay. So this is in a different direct. Okay, yeah. See, that's amazing. So who spread out the earth for you? Yeah. So who spread out the earth for you and built the sky, which is crazy because everything he just used the metaphor for right before that is through the sky. Nick, and who? Oh man, and who else is in the sky? Well, so can we like kind of say he's in the sky? He's be above the sky. Rabbi too. So, but at the end of the day, those things are still under God. That's so amazing. That's so amazing. Oh man, so who sent water down from it? See, it's under him, and he said, "I sent water down from it, producing things for you." Yeah,
above to get something down.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Oh yeah.
And also it shows us our place. We're down, and he's up, regardless. It's never gonna change. It's all right. So who spread out the earth from you and built the sky? Who sent water down from it? Would that water produce things for your sustenance? Do not knowing this set up rivals to God. Do not knowing this set up. See? So right there is explaining, do not knowing this set up rivals to God. So he's basically bringing that up, the whole theme again, the whole thing of willfully being blind and deaf. This is so that's to the truth because they know. See what I'm saying? So he's saying, so do not knowing this. So he's saying, so he's basically saying, come on, bro, you already know this. I'm just saying it again, so there's no excuses. Because you guys are so blind, it's gonna be. We live in a world full of excuses. Everything's an excuse. Everything is an excuse.
So then what happens after?
So do not knowing this set up rivals to God. If you have doubts about it, so if you have doubts, so now it's coming down to the ones who have doubt. Okay. So now he's looking out for the ones that they have, they know the truth, but not willfully give it being blind. They just have doubt for whatever reason they do. Which is understandable. I mean, look at the world we live in now. All right, you can't even tell a Muslim because we can't tell a Muslim from a non-Muslim right now unless they pray 5 times a day. Unless someone prays 5 times a day, wallahi, you can't tell if someone's a Muslim or not nowadays. He'll be at the club. That's 100% true because that's what Muhammad ﷺ said. There will be a time where the only way to distinguish a Muslim from a non-Muslim is prayer.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't know that.
Okay, so you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So that being said. That's 100% true. For a guy who used to do, stuff a lot, I go party, bro. Eid Day is do you think Eid Day is at Eid prayer, bro? Eid Day is at 29 nightclub. Eid Day is at this. You know what I'm saying? You'll see everyone that's at Damat, bro. People who didn't even show up at Eid prayer are gonna show up at downtown for celebrating Eid. You feel me? So for a white person, So for a white person, how are they supposed to know what's a Muslim from a non-Muslim? They can't differentiate, bro. They see me clubbing with them. They see those other Muslims celebrating Eid, popping bottles. You feel me? So how do you really know Muslims in general? There are Muslims that just eat bacon like it's a regular day in the office, bro. It's okay. It's oh, bro. And they make the justification, well, bro, I already drink and everything. People even told me that. They yo, bro, you're already drinking that. Why don't you just eat bacon? Bro. You already have this before marriage. You're already doing this before marriage. And the only thing is bacon. You're going to stop at bacon? Well, it's a lot easier to stop 2 instead of stop all 3. You know what I'm saying? I still have hope I'm gonna stop this. But anyways, the point is that we are living a time where it actually the only way to differentiate a Muslim from a non-Muslim is prayer. And wallahi al-azim, that's 100% true. I can literally see it.
So let's go back to this point right here. Okay.
So yeah. So
Allah just gave
this is bringing up. The whole point was to bring up that it's understandable that there will be people in this time that will see the truth, but they're not willfully trying to be blind. They just have doubt. And that doubt is what's stopping them from fully committing to Islam. All right? It's not because of their blindness. It's because of their doubt. There's a difference. Okay? So,
but isn't it interesting that Allah...
Because the ones who are blind, there is no doubt. They know it's the truth, and with no doubt, they're not planning to follow it. That's it. That's it. But then... Okay.
There is no doubt. They don't have any doubt about it.
Yeah, they know exactly. They know what is good. Like the atheist, what someone says. So someone says, for example, someone says, the shaitan is even better than an atheist. Yo, that's true, 100%. You know why?
Because of Allah.
Yes, because even the shaitan knows Allah is real. So it's and honestly, those atheists, I feel. That's a hard topic because I don't know. Some of them are willfully blind, and I feel like some of them are just so full of doubt that it encompasses everything. So it's
do you want a last side note? Zakir Naik?
Mm-hmm.
he told an atheist, he's like, you're basically halfway to becoming a Muslim. He's like, I don't believe in God. He's like, perfect. And all you have to say is, I bear witness, I don't believe in any God but Allah.
That's good. That's good, actually. That's actually good.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So side note, 1 second.
So,
So go back to this point.
So
that's powerful what you said about the fact that hypocrites, they don't have doubt. They know it's the truth. But there might be people who are seeking the truth, but they might have a little bit of doubt or confusion.
Yeah, especially with especially in this time. Especially in this time, you gotta.
Right. But hold up. Okay, hold up.
That's why the whole thing, bro. That's why it gets a little bit deeper. But I want to make this like good for your podcast or whatever you're doing.
No. You can go deep.
No. Well, then you're just gonna edit this part out because like at the end of the day. Okay. Because this part.
Okay, hold on. But just let me say something. Let me have to repeat this. Okay, just hold up. Let me say it again. Okay. It's interesting that you brought up this point that because I was stuck on understanding. I mean, obviously they have these doubts. They're telling but you said no. Hypocrite knows the truth. They don't have any doubt. But there might be people who want to know the truth, but they're still like there's a bit of doubt. There's something that they're not. It's not really making sense. And I'm like, wow, that's a powerful illustration because you're right. Allah saying that there is no doubt in what you know is or what you know is the truth, and you willfully deny it. There's a difference because someone who is struggling to understand the truth because there's a bit of doubt is different than someone who knows it's the truth and they still deny it. Right? So that's powerful. That's number one. Number two, it goes back to the start of Al-Baqarah where Allah says, Alif Lam Mim, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. This book has no doubt.
Exactly. See how amazing he is? The scheme keeps going. Even if it's not even a scheme, he'll bring it back. So he brought something up. I don't know what the terminology is for that. I will find out. I feel stupid for not knowing it. But he refers what he said in the beginning after through a scheme, a more detailed scheme. So it's like almost like a foreshadow of the scheme that's coming up. It is. That's what it's called. That's subhanAllah, God gave me the terminology.
But hold up. But he also, it says that Baqarah is an answer to Surah Al-Fatiha because ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim.
Exactly. Everything's connected. Everything's connected. That's one thing I realized. Like I realized when I was in jail for something I didn't do, reading the Quran, bro. God is the best lyricist that's ever.
Okay, which is actually gonna mind blow you in just a moment. Because now you said, do not, Allah says, now you know this, and I give you the example, do not set up any association with Allah, right?
100%.
If you have doubts about the revelation, we have sent down to our servant, then
yes, hold on. Yeah.
Like it.
So if we have doubts if you have doubts, okay, hold on, start from here. Do not knowing this set up rivals to God. Great. So it's done. Then it says, if you have doubts about the revelation we have sent down to our servant, then produce a single surah like it and list what. Basically saying at this point, because he knows it's going to be at a point where it's not going to be like, oh, well, we have a prophet for you. No, it's done. Muhammad was the last prophet.
No.
It's done. So hold on. So if you have doubts about the revelation we have sent down to our servant, I'm thinking he's talking about the Quran. Then produce a single surah like it in.
This is the part that I feel like it's going to blow your mind. Hold up.
Whatever support.
Now look at this. Now that I understand how you got me to this point.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, if you have doubts about this revelation, the Quran that we're reading right now, okay? So after everything I just showed you so far, it's just an intro. Like we just got, this is page 4. You know what I'm saying? And we're not even done the page, right? And so the Fatiha has only 7 verses, so it's not even like a really big full page, but it's a page in and of itself. So let's just say, for argument's sake, 4 pages, not even, right? Okay. Allah's saying, just in that little bit that I've given you, it should have been enough for you to convince you that this has no doubt. This is perfect. Just in the little bit that Allah showed us, you should have no doubt in what you're reading right now in the Revelation, right?
Oh, like so you're saying, like right now, like he's talking about this, like what we just read right now.
Right now.
Yes, I agree. I agree. That's
right?
amazing. Yeah.
So watch this. So he's saying, if you're gonna have doubt just in a little bit that I just shared with you, then how about you come up with something better than I just gave you?
Exactly. If you have doubts about the revelation we have sent down to our servant, maybe our servant meaning you, literally, like you, right there, the person reading right now. So God is speaking to you literally right now. No. At this point, God is literally talking to you. Yes. Whoever is reading that, he's talking to you.
Hold up. Just hold up.
Yeah.
Al-Fatiha,
So it's Al-Fatiha. What Al-Fatiha is basically like
it's literally a
it's
surah
general.
of 7 verses. He's literally saying, like, you could literally, if I could understand it.
No. But I'm thinking, no. I'm thinking beyond that. I'm thinking like he's like after saying all this, he's telling you now if you have doubts about the revelation we have sent down to our servant, which is you, like the person reading this right now, which is like what you just read right now, just what you just read right now. Then produce one single surah like it. So I know what you're saying. You're saying that the only single surah at that point would be Al-Fatiha. You're right.
Yeah,
I agree. So surah like it. Oh yeah, you're right. I know. I agree. I agree. He's basically, but I think it's the surah and plus whatever he said after that. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
But mainly just a single surah like it. You're right. Enlist whatever supporters. Also saying like bring any person you can, because there are great poets back in the day and now. You know what I'm saying? Like Arabs are a huge.
How many times when you're writing poetry you get your voice to help you? I even as a writer
No.
myself.
No. That's one thing. I'm old boy the Phantom. I'm the ghost. I don't need a ghost writer. I'm the ghost. What the hell?
Okay.
So,
one second.
So I don't. No. I never, ever let anyone write my thing. But I will go and approve it with somebody. Like, yo, what do you think? No, like.
What if somebody? What if somebody asked you to help them with an idea to develop it?
I've had people. What do you mean? I've wrote songs for people.
That's what I'm saying. Even me as a writer, I can write the story, but I need editors. It's not gonna be
Yes,
perfect.
but that doesn't change. Yeah, editors to edit. Yeah, but it's not gonna change your idea. Your image and your idea is yours.
You're not getting it. The Quran is perfect speech, and Allah perfected it.
Yeah.
From the get, without anyone. He's calling.
But I think it's beyond perfect. Allah is perfect, period. So everything he does is perfect. It doesn't mean to perfect anything. Perfect, because when you say perfect something, that means like.
Hold up.
Oh no, yeah, Rabbi is challenging. Yeah, he's saying so. Produce one surah like it and enlist whatever. And he says enlist whatever supporters. That means the top of the top lyricists, poets above. You can bring Eminem and 100 Eminem. You know what I'm saying? You will not come up with even one surah close to that. All right, you have another. You have other than God. Okay, yeah, exactly. Enlist whatever supporters you have other than God, which means literally anyone besides God. Except me. If you choose.
Hold up. Right there. Pause. Right there. What did Allah do right now in this line? It's so powerful. He said you can ask anybody for help, basically in this dunya, except me. Don't bring me into it.
No.
So basically, hold up.
Okay.
Because what happens when you ask Allah to help you with your writing? What do you ask when you ask Allah to help you with this? He'll inspire you and He'll help you.
Yep.
He's saying when you come up with a surah like it, get anybody except me out of it. Bam.
Because he's saying he's not.
Because he won't. Exactly. So he's saying, try to come up with something without my help, and bring anybody else to help you, but don't bring me in it. So as many people in the world that you want to bring.
No, I feel like no. He's saying, I know what you're saying, but I think he's saying basically like bring any supporter you want other than God. As soon as he says other than God, that's basically saying like.
If you truly think you can. No,
like anybody, like obviously because I'm like I don't know if he's breaking it down because like people are like maybe if they'll think like.
I'll tell you the Arabic. If I tell you the Arabic, you're gonna get it, okay?
Other than God. No, I'm trying.
وإن كنتم في ريب مما نزلنا على عبدنا فأتوا بصورة من مثله وادعوا شهداءكم من دون الله إن كنتم صادقين. So he's saying, so if any of you had any doubt about what I've just revealed to you, right, about anything in the revelation, then try to come up with something better than what I have. And not only will you am I telling you to do that, bring anyone to help you get to that point without my help, without asking from me. If you really think you can, if you really think you're truthful, if you really own up your word that you're actually better than me, bring anybody you want, but don't bring me in it. So that you see, because if you bring Allah in it, then it's still you're gonna think of I'm still better. Allah saying bring as many people as you want
without me.
Like Salah, without me. So Salah, imagine this. Okay, let me put it into perspective. But obviously, nothing is comparison to Allah, right?
No,
right now,
I think he's saying other than God.
Hold up.
No, he's saying other than God, because if you were listening, because if you would have used God, you wouldn't be going to get supporters or nothing. You would be listening, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So then produce a single surah like it, enlist whatever supporters you have other than God, because if it was with God, then you would be listening to this and not looking for no supporters, no nothing. You would be listening to khalas. So right now he's saying other than God, because
you're... That's sick.
Because
that's sick. But you get my... See, that's a nice Taddabur. I saw what you did there. That's actually sick. But did you see the point that I was trying to make?
Yeah.
So imagine this, right? Hold up. Right now you just said, what, like, oh, I'm all about the Phantom, the Ghost. I don't need no Ghost Rider, right? That's what you said, right? You're that confident. Okay.
No, I know that.
Imagine if you said, okay, you know that, right? You said you're that confident, right? Take that confidence that you have.
That's
right?
what. So Allah has that confidence where it's like beyond that confidence. I mean, he's on a different level. But I mean, I'm saying.
Hold up. Let me just say my metaphor for a second, okay?
All right.
So imagine you saying, I don't need nobody. If anything, I can help other people, but no one's gonna help me with my stuff. I'm that good, right?
Yes.
So watch this. If you're gonna tell someone you think you're better than me, get whatever boys you got to help you out without my help. And see if you can come up.
Yes.
Better than me.
Without my help. But the thing
exactly. So now take that, but obviously with Allah, and it's.
But also it's beyond it,
obviously.
because it's not without my help only, because it's like God will never need help the right way He's saying. It's God's word.
Exactly.
So basically, He's stating that whatever you do is not going to be me. That's His way of saying whatever you do is not me. It's not going to be me. It's not going to.
Yeah, that's also true. That's also true.
So exactly.
That's also true. That's also another good.
And then right after he says that, that's why he says right after that, if you truly think you can.
Which you cannot.
No, you can't. It's obvious. That was a rhetorical question. That pretty much that was not even a. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's rhetorical.
And if you cannot do this.
Now he's just being cocky. You know what I'm saying? So like now he's just like, all right, so it's like. And when you see, if anything, it should have been stuff. If you cannot do this, and you see, thank you, because I was about to say stuff like I didn't mean like if he should have been I meant like not what God should have said. I'm saying the narration should have been, and when you can't. But that's good because instead he said if you cannot do this, and you never will. There you go. So that's why you don't get in the way of Rabbi's poetry, bro. Rabbi knows what he's doing, bro. Rabbi knows it. See, that's why that was basically Rabbi shutting me up right now because I was like, oh, whoa, he should say this. He's like, whoa. Don't question me, bro. I already know what I'm saying. No. Listen. God is, bro. This just happened right now. All right. As a poet, I was like, yo, what do you mean if you cannot do this? After what you said, if you truly think you can, it should be when you can't do this. But then Rabbi knows that. Rabbi's smarter than me. You feel me? Rabbi already knows better than me, bro. Who do you think I mean, I'm trying to back up God here. I'm not like God doesn't need backup, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to like defend that, but Rabbi knows, bro. Rabbi doesn't need defending. Rabbi got him. You know what I'm saying? So if you cannot do this, and you never will, so that's basically better than what I was about to say. When I was thinking like, oh, the definition should be when you can't do this. No, that's what Rabbi wrote it the way it was way better. If you cannot do this, and you never will. Bro, that's amazing. That is so like high level of confidence.
Hang on. One second. What does his confidence not have in there? That started this verse to begin with.
What his
confident? When you're confident, what do you not have?
A doubt. Exactly. Allah has no doubt, and if you follow Allah, then you have no doubt. You should have no doubt.
If you have, but look at this. He said, you know, he just put you in your place. You're coming at me with this. You're coming to this revelation with doubt. So if you're so doubtful, he just puts a challenge. Try to come up with a surah better like it with anybody that you can enlist outside of me. And if you think you can, if you're really honest and you think you're that good, which by the way, if you can't and you never will, Allah's saying in return. As he's the ultimate writer, as the ultimate author, I have no doubt in what I have to say, and I'm that confident. So in the doubt that you had to begin with, I'm like, bro, Allah is so genius.
Beyond genius.
So basically, it's rhetorical.
Yes.
So then beware of, then what? Then you basically not defeated. It's like a chess.
Yeah, so right now he was just explaining, bro, he already beat you in chess. He was just sitting there explaining how he beat you. And if you still don't get it, then go around and your professors and come here, and then when you guys all figure out that you didn't, okay, then beware of the fire prepared for the disbelievers, whose fuel is men and stones. That's it. Yeah.
Which goes back, hang on.
To the whole point of...
Which goes back to what? Look how he ends that page when it started with what? The fire that person lit to begin with. To get
Subhanallah.
light. The fuel.
Which is fueled...
To fuel the fire.
Whose fuel is men and stones. Damn. And what's the fireplace?
Oh, snap. That's so crazy.
Yeah, subhanallah.
Man. Probably one of the best. This is probably one of my favorite Taddaburs today. It was so... I was actually asking Allah, please, Allah, give me, like... I'm really trying to get that aha moment. I'm trying to get that guidance. And I'm like, subhanAllah, I was like, you know what? Let me hit Salah ad-Din. And I was like, let me hit out his mouth because he's a poet. Like, he's a rapper. He's probably going to get it more than me, right? And subhanAllah, I came to you, and we just had the sickest, like, episode. It's like an hour and 3 minutes, and I'm sure it's going to be 2 minutes, but it was just lit. Thank you.
No problem.
Off the cuff.
Inshallah.
Taddabur Tuesday, twin edition.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Well, you're always welcome to be on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, inshallah. Why not?
Okay, thank you. Can you send me the recording right now, please?
Inshallah, I will.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna edit it right now and I'm gonna post it.
Okay, inshallah. I'll send it to you now.
Okay, I love you.
Love
thank
you too, sis.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Bye.